Hi, my name is Marie Brillmeyer, and I'm here with Jacquelyn Tracy at the ASCPA Women's Global Leadership Summit. And today we're going to talk about presenting your ideas and yourself for the association's Human Intelligence Series. All right, Jackie, so why is it important to think about how you present your ideas?
It's important to think about how you present your ideas because you have different people in the audience. Not everybody has the same learning style or ability to absorb things the same way. One of the best classes that I ever went to in my career was a Train the Trainer class, and it talked about how people have different learning styles. So some people you can just lecture to and they'll absorb what you're saying. Some people like to see visuals, so whether you show them something or there's pictures. Some people like to talk about things before they can actually absorb what's going on. And then some people like to work independently, some people are competitively. So you want to think about your audience and what you're trying to say so that you can incorporate different types of those types of activities so you'll hit everybody in the audience. So if I just do a lecture, if I just stand up and tell people stuff, I might only hit 25% of my audience. But if I try to put a little bit of each thing in there, then I'll get more of the people to actually hear what I'm saying and pay attention to what I'm doing.
Now, what about how you present yourself?
That's important because you want people to hear you and to pay attention. You may have the most important information, but if you don't present it confidently, if you talk really quiet and people can't hear you, or you're hesitant about what you say, they're not necessarily going to listen. So you want to make sure that you're confident in what you're saying, and so that people will pay attention. And you also want to make sure that you're not distracting to everybody. Like, for instance, I normally wouldn't wear a t-shirt under my suit, but we're wearing our summit t-shirts today. So you want to think about that, how you're presenting, so that you're not getting in the way of what you're saying as well.
Great. How can your presentation skills help you be perceived as a strategic partner to your clients?
Well, I think that's very important for the clients to have confidence in what you're saying. So whether you're presenting something to the client and that you are giving them a message that they need to hear, or you're solving a problem that they have confidence in what you're saying, but that you've listened to them and that you're presenting ideas that will help them. But also, if you're presenting on behalf of the client, whether you're doing a presentation for them or representing them in front of the IRS or whatnot, that they know that you're going out there and you're going to really put on the best face for them and that you're going to represent them well.
Right. Finally, can you share 3 tips or more for improving your presentation skills?
The easy thing would be to say practice, practice, practice.
Right.
But that is really important to do. So you want to plan what you want to say, so understanding your audience and knowing what it is that you are presenting to them. Is it an audience that's really technical and you need to present things at a really technical level? Or is it something that you're doing introductory, so you want to present things at a higher level for them? That you think about what it is that you're trying to present to them. You want to plan that whole thing out. You also really want to practice on what you're doing. I always have to write everything out the first time so that I can think about that, think about my words. I never say it exactly like I have written down, which kills me. I want to do it that way, but really you want to know what topics you're trying to get across, what points you're trying to get across, and then be able to say it in whatever manner. And then I also picture myself doing the presentation. So if I don't get a chance to practice in that room, I actually think about being in that room, whether I'm on a stage or on the ground level, talking to people, asking them questions, and I kind of picture how I think it's going to be. So practice, plan, and really picture yourself in what you're doing. And you really don't want to wing it. I know some people who can, but really thinking about what it is that you want to say is really important, so that you make sure that you've covered everything and that you're accomplishing your goal.
Do you practice in front of people?
Sometimes I do, especially earlier in my career, when I was doing presentations for certain clients. We would do presentations, or I know one of the classes that I went to, we had to stand up in front of the room and do some practice sessions. And I remember a friend of mine, it was the first time she had ever done something in front of a room, and she was really, really nervous, and we had to use a prop. And back then they had the overheads that you wrote on. So her picture was a stick figure that was shaking because she was so nervous. But talking about the fact that she was nervous helped her present in the first idea, because she was being open and honest. So I think that's a good thing to keep in mind when you're presenting, is you always have to be yourself. You can't try to be, I couldn't try to be you in front of a room, you couldn't try to be me, but be yourself and add your personality in there, and that makes it a little easy because you're not trying to do something else.
Right. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.